Fine, at the end of the meal is I would ask if they wanted any coffee or dessert. And one time this lady said, yeah, I'll have an affogato. Do you guys know what that is? Yeah. Some people? Okay, I didn't. Because what I said back to her, I was like, you want an avocado? And she said yes. And I was like, I don't think she does, so I'm going to say this out loud again. I was like, you want me to bring you an avocado? And she just waved me off, you know? Just that I'm done talking to the help hand gesture. And I remember just walking out to the dining room so defeated. I was like, this can't be right. There's no way. This is what she wants. But I didn't know what to do. I just presented her an avocado. And she was like, no, wrong. And I was like, I know. I knew it was wrong, tried it anyway, I didn't know.
Like, I have to get in trouble, so I'm like, I'm gonna go scream at the Church of Scientology. Yes, thank you. It's a blue building, you can go. You can just, they make you sign in. I just write Tom Cruise. I just spell it with a Z, like it's vegan, you know? But I walked in and I couldn't scream. I looked at them and they scared me. Have you seen them? They don't blink. And they were like, well, can I help you? I'm like, no, not at all. I was gonna scream, but I'm scared. And I went back to my apartment and I felt like a coward. And then I smoked a little weed and I'm like, I'm going back. And I went back. I went to the Church of Scientology. I busted in the door. Just fucking. And they were like, sir, you have to leave now. And I was like, yeah, obviously. I wasn't going to walk in here and scream and then be like, so what's it about? Like, what do you guys do?
I have anxiety. Anybody else? Nice. Yeah, I was like looking up online, like how to deal with it, right? And I read this article and they were like, oh, anxiety is just misplaced excitement. Yeah, they're like, try this. Next time you're feeling anxious, just say, I'm not anxious, I'm excited. So I was feeling a little anxious the other day, so I was like, all right, I'll try this new hack. I'm not anxious, I'm excited that this mole on my neck might be cancer. And it worked. I'm pretty stoked to die.
It's hard to date being a female comedian because boys are always worried that we're going to roast your little peens on stage. You guys hate that. But we do that off stage as well. I can draw your dick by looking into her eyes. You understand that? It's true. We love to do it. You guys hate it. I know you do. I'm pretty sure that's how witches got started. You know what I mean? I think some dude in the 1400s pulled his dick out and was like, what do you think? And she was like, are you fucking serious, dude? And he was like, burn her! That's why they think they fly around on broomsticks, because she was just with her buddies being like, it was this skinny. I swear to God, it was this skinny.
I was in Florida for 10 minutes, not even. Left the airport in an Uber. Saw my first Florida man. Just a dude in the middle of the intersection in like a denim bikini who would just start twerking every time the light turned green. That was nice. We was on the, so we approached the light, it was red, he was just standing there, it was like, all right. Light turned green, this nigga went off. People had to swerve to miss him. Somebody tried to hand him money out their car, he like slapped their hand away. I was like, oh, this must be a passion performance. How dare you interrupt his art with your money?
When I was a kid, I never understood how there's so many homeless people. I never understood that. My dad's always like, oh, because they're lazy. They didn't work hard. And I just believe that. But then as you grow, you start to pay bills every month. Not 1 month off. Everybody just doing this every single month. And then your perspective change. Now I'm like, how is there not more homeless people? Like, how are most of us not homeless? Because I Googled this, too. 70% of Americans, probably not in Manhattan Beach, but 70% of Americans have under $1,000 in their savings account. I was like, I did not know there's that many people have that much money.
My grandpa and my grandma both survived the Holocaust. Yeah. Some of you aren't clapping for that? You're like, yeah, what are their other credits? Do they have a podcast? My grandpa escaped concentration camp. One time he was in hiding and a guy offered him a ham sandwich. And he was very hungry, but my grandpa was still a religious Jewish man, so he said, sorry, I don't eat pork. And I love my grandpa, and I appreciate his sacrifice, but that's the Jewiest response to a free sandwich. This guy's hiding from the Nazis. You think you might want to tone that down a little bit. My grandpa jumped off a train headed to Auschwitz. This guy gives him a sandwich and he goes, yeah, what else you got?
Back in the day, I dated a Christian boy, and he broke up with me because he said that God told him to. Yeah. Which I feel like is pretty uncool of God. Just to take time out of his busy schedule. Just to like tell this kid to break up with me. Especially because that was the same week as Hurricane Katrina. So like, what was God doing up there? He was just like, oh no, the levees are about to break. Oh wait, but what's happening over here? Oh no. He's dating that bitch Emily. That's not my plan. My plan is you gotta break up with Emily over the phone, and then the very next day get back together with your ex-girlfriend, and then you gotta move to Temecula and work at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That's my plan. Anyways, back to the levy. Oops.
A while back, I had two friends go to prison for selling drugs. And when drug dealers call you from prison, they always ask the same question. They're always like, who would have thought I'd go from driving the Benz to sleeping in a cell? Everybody. That's why we asked you to stop. They asked me not to talk about this stuff on stage, but the way I see it, for the next 5 to 7, I can say what I want. When they were dealing like small-time drugs like weed and stuff, we didn't really care. But when they started moving to heavier things, we sat down, one of our friends, and we had like a real serious talk. Like, hey man, don't go down this route, because nobody wants to see you get, locked up or killed. And then he started taking us out to eat to really nice restaurants. And we were all just like, heroin's not that bad.
I moved here because I was turning 40. It was my midlife crisis. People don't like to hear that, right? They don't like to hear, like, oh, 40's not old. Yes, the fuck it is. 40 times 2 is 80. Have you met an 80-year-old? They don't want to be here. Did you know that, like, in nursing homes, they have, like, the highest cases of STIs? Because they're like, if I gotta go, I'll go any way I want to go. You can't tell somebody who went through, like, the fucking Great Depression to wear a condom. They be like, listen, I ain't got no teeth. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to be that old. So I know 40 is, like, middle of my life. Like, if I get to see 80, cool. But the way shit is going now, I mean, listen, 62 is looking good to me. I'm like... 62, I'll be out of here, you know what I'm saying?
I no longer believe autism is a disadvantage. I believe autism is a superhuman advantage. Because, like, I saw a date and it just changed my whole worldview. A couple, they met up, it was love at first sight. They fell in love immediately. And they had cards they would read in case they ran out of stuff to talk about on the date. And on one of the cards, it was name your 3 favorite things in the whole wide world. And the young man named his. It was Batman, trains, and chocolate milk. 3 favorite things in the whole world. And he asked the young lady if she liked his 3 favorite things, and she answered honestly and said no. He was devastated. She named her 3 favorite things in the whole wide world, asked him if he liked those. He answered honestly and said no, and his heart was broken. And do y'all know what they did? They got up and left. The date was over. They said their goodbyes. That autistic man became my hero. He became a fucking hero. Because he had the courage to do what no man in here would do. He ignored his heart and his dick. And he looked her deep in the eyes. And he said, bitch, if you don't like Batman, fuck you.